Meghan Markle, 40, and Prince Harry, 37, stepped away from royal duties in 2020. The couple, along with their first child Archie, now 2, moved to the US to pursue a financially independent life away from the firm. Since then, the Sussex family has grown, with the latest addition being baby Lilibet Lili Diana, who was born in June. The baby, who is the Queen's 11th great-grandchild, was named after Her Majesty, although it is understood the pair are yet to meet. Since their move to the US, Prince Harry has only returned to UK soil on 2 occasions, and neither times with his wife and children in tow. The Duke of Sussex returned to Britain in April to attend the funeral of Prince Philip, who died aged 99. He also returned in July to unveil a statue of his late mother, Princess Diana. The Duke was joined by his brother Prince William as they unveiled the commemorative work of the Princess of Wales at the Sunken garden of Kensington Palace. Since then, he has returned to his Montecito property with his family. The couple undertook a 3-day visit to New York back in September, marking their first public appearance since the birth of their daughter. However, over the past week, a heavily mutated COVID variant has been identified, which has been rapidly labeled a variant of concern by the World Health Organization. The new variant, named Omicron, makes any potential UK visits from the Sussexes unlikely. Stricter measures requiring people travelling to the UK to take a PCR test and isolate in the days following their arrival were announced by the government on Saturday. The variant has mutations that theoretically help it to spread more quickly, meaning there could be further restrictions placed on travel that would prevent the family from coming across the pond. This means it may be a little while longer before Queen Elizabeth II, 95, can meet her namesake. This is not the first time that COVID-19 has impacted the couple though. Following the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral in April, Harry is understood to have returned to Frogmore Cottage, the property he and wife Meghan were gifted by the Queen following their 2018 wedding. This was in line with COVID rules in force at the time, which stated that people travelling to the UK must isolate for 10 days. It is understood that he was allowed to attend the funeral on compassionate grounds, but the rules stated he must remain in isolation at all other times. At the time, Meghan was pregnant with baby Lilibet, and was advised not to travel by her doctors. She also noted that Lilibet has begun to teeth and that 2-year-old Archie loves to dance. She also said that her husband loves their life in California, adding, "We've just been able to spend a lot of time at home, and creating our home. We're just happy." Queen's youngest son, 57, has been among the senior royals standing in for Her Majesty in recent weeks. It comes as the 95-year-old monarch has been resting after she was believed to have received advice from doctors following her packed recent schedule. Last week Edward delivered the Queen's message to the General Synod, the Church of England's National Assembly. Speaking on behalf of the Queen, the Earl of Wessex described the pandemic as a time of anxiety, of grief, and of weariness. Edward and his wife, Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, are among the Queen's most loyal subjects, who the monarch is able to depend on to deliver key messages. However, in his younger years, Edward had a reputation as one of the royal family's more controversial characters. The Earl is credited with one of the firm's greatest PR blunders of all time. It's a royal knockout trademark. Edward organized and starred in the 1987 charity event alongside his sister, Princess Anne, brother, Prince Andrew, and sister-in-law Sarah Ferguson. Despite enthusiasm from Edward, a passionate thespian the day drew a damp response from the media, much to the royal's disappointment. The expert spoke for the 1999 documentary, Prince Edward and Sophie Rhys-Jones, The True Story trademark, which was filmed in the run-up to the couple's wedding that year. She said, "The day that he was filming It's a Knockout trademark, it was a horrible day. The weather was foul. The media sat drenched in the rain all day long. So, at the end of the day when he came in for a press conference with everybody, and he said, "Don TMT, you think that was wonderful. Trademark." They also said, "Well, no, not really trademark." Ms. Wade said that the media had hardly any access to the royals at the event. She added, "They certainly weren't TMT allowed to get any pictures because Edward had done an exclusive deal, and they were all thoroughly fed up." The documentary includes footage of Edward from the press conference in which he addresses reporters. He said, "I only hope that you TMV enjoyed yourselves. Have you?" Before being met with almost complete silence. The prince replied, "Well, thanks for sounding so BY enthusiastic. What have you been doing in here all day?" He then asks the media what they thought of the event, before storming out of the press conference after again being met with a lackluster response. Ms. Wade claimed that Edward took the lukewarm feedback from the press as a terrible personal criticism. She said, "I remember one reporter filing a story that he flounced out of the press conference like a ballerina with a ladder in her tights. He was just not prepared to see the other side of the story. He couldn't see that this huddled mass of wet reporters and photographers were just thoroughly fed up and wanted to go home." Prince Edward and Sophie Rhys-Jones, The True Story trademark is available to watch on YouTube. Duke of Cambridge, 39, who spent 2 years working for the East Anglian Air Ambulance after previously serving as an RAF search and rescue helicopter pilot, confessed he misses the uniform. But he recalled how flying to treat injured children in particular affected him badly because of thoughts about his own family. He said, "In the air ambulance, any job I went to with children, that really affected me, much more than I think if I hadn't had children actually. So, for me, it was the relation with my personal life, and the incident I was at I found that very difficult. There were a number of times when I had to take myself away because I was just getting too involved in it. And then I'd go to talk to someone else after the event, which was really important, but it continues, it doesn't really leave you there, you just manage it better." He was speaking at a symposium in London launching the Blue Light Together initiative, a set of common standards to support staff, which will be adopted by all emergency services across the UK. Developed by William and Kate's Royal Foundation and other bodies, they include prioritising mental health in the workplace, promoting openness and providing tools and support. William, 39, is particularly passionate about mandatory decompression breaks, where staff can put distance between the horrors they have witnessed and their time with family and friends. In a speech to 200 frontline workers, he said, "I remember returning home with the stresses and strains of the day weighing on my mind, and wanting to avoid burdening my family with what I had seen." What is happening where you live? Find out by adding your postcode or visit in your area. He described having a split personality, one for home and one for work. He added, "That's why I'm passionate about the need for mandatory decompression breaks. The work you do is some of the toughest out there, and we owe you an enormous debt of gratitude. I would only ask that you look out for your own well-being, just as you tirelessly care for everyone else's." William later spoke to Met Police Chief Cressida Dick, who said her force lost 70,000 working days last year due to mental health issues. Health Secretary Sajid Javid said his brother Bas Javid, a Met police officer, suffers bruises and cuts, but we don't talk about the mental ones.